Hi friends, welcome back to my channel SciTech. In this I'm going to show you which smartphone processor actually supports the Battlegrounds mobile game 90 FPS by default without using any kind of config file, without using any kind of GFX file. That's what this video is about, because I'm getting plenty of comments that is the Snapdragon 855 Plus is supported or not, is the Snapdragon 860 supported or not. But I thought of making a video and explaining to you clearly which phone actually supports the Battlegrounds mobile game 90 FPS. So I did get most of the smartphones with me and few smartphones which I did use in the previously, so I do have some kind of idea as well, so which I'll try to discuss in this video. So these are the few smartphone processors which I'll try to discuss about the 90 FPS, which processors are actually supported and which are not supported. The Snapdragon processor and the Dimensity processor, these are the two lists which I did include in this video, and this list is based on the recent Battlegrounds mobile game 1.7 version update. So after this version there's nothing much huge changes happen, but I just want to update you regarding the 90 FPS which phone actually supports. So first let's get started friends, starting with the Dimensity processor. With the Dimensity processor is very small list, nothing much major, so I did not include Dimensity 900 and less powerful processors. I did not include them. So I could have included the Snapdragon 778G and other processors, but it doesn't make much sense because they don't even, few processors they don't support 60 FPS, so we cannot expect 90 FPS like not 778G but another processors. So that's the reason I did not include anything below 8 series. So let's see friends, with the Dimensity processors, with the Dimensity 1200, I do have 3 smartphones with me, Dimensity 1200, and out of those 3, and the Realme X and Max only is the one which actually supports the 90 FPS, and there's one more which is the POCO X8 GT. So POCO X8 GT doesn't support 90 FPS, but this processor got update after the 1.7 version. Now you can actually play with Ultra HD settings in the 1200 processor, but before we cannot play that. But OnePlus Nord 2 didn't get update. OnePlus Nord 2 is not updated to the latest version. Even it's not supported, I think HDR Extreme you cannot play, Ultra HD, so not that much supported. So there's a few things which I thought of explaining to you, and only the Realme X and Max which supports the 90 FPS Dimensity 1200, as you can see 90 FPS, but the Realme UI will not allow you to play at 90 FPS. That's the problem with this Dimensity 1200 in the Realme X and Max. It will be locked exactly 70 FPS. So right now we are getting 60, but usually it will be locked exactly at 70 FPS. As you can see friends, it's locked to 70 FPS, 71 FPS only. So even if you use the config file or GFX file set, edit application, whatever you do, you cannot get 90 FPS working. Only it was able to possible in the PUBG Korean version, but not in this global version, and in this Battlegrounds mobile game I'm not getting. So Dimensity 1200 is kind of supported only in the Realme X and Max. Next the list goes to the Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset, so which I do have right now, which is a Realme X2 Pro. Realme X2 Pro with the Snapdragon 855 Plus, this phone was able to support by default 90 FPS. As you can see friends, clearly by default graphics 90 FPS is kind of supported exactly. But same problem with the Realme UI, it won't allow you to play at 90 FPS. As you can see, same problem. But maybe if you try to use different kind of tricks, you will be able to play at least 90 FPS in this device, maybe the brightness trick or some other trick. But anyway, this is Snapdragon 855 Plus, at least it's supported by default. So that's another phone friends with the Snapdragon 855 Plus. And Snapdragon 860, I do have the Snapdragon 860 which is POCO X3 Pro, which is not supported at this moment. I did not get any kind of update, so I need to check out. I don't have a phone right now with me because I did give that phone to my brother. So I did use for the past, I think 3 days back, I did check that there is no 90 FPS. I did use only using config file and GFX file. I was able to play at 90 FPS. So Snapdragon 860, no, in my phone I did not get that. But Snapdragon 865, which is, I do have the mobile which is MI10T. This is MI10T which I got right now, which supports 90 FPS. As you can see friends, exactly 90 FPS it's supported, and which is true 90 FPS was supported, not like the Realme which will be limited, but here true 90 FPS will be getting. And along with that we do get a floating FPS meter in this device, I mean in the MIUI phones and POCO phones, which is another fantastic news to get this kind of floating FPS where you can actually see the real-time FPS statistics and data, as you can clearly see. So this is a renewed smartphone which I did order from the Amazon website, MI10T. This is a renewed product for about 21,000 rupees, so which is pretty good deal for Snapdragon 865, and by default 90 FPS. That's fantastic, very smooth experience friends in this MI10T, not much complaints as you can see. And 865 Plus 865 Plus, I did use the ROG Phone 3, S25 ROG Phone 3 I did use, and I did sell that mobile phone later on because of the black color crush issue, and one of the user, he want to buy the phone, so I have sold that phone to the user. So I did explain to him that there's a black color issue, but it's still they don't care about that because of the gaming experience he can actually get. That's true, friends, because the gaming is really good in the ROG Phone 3. So Snapdragon 865 Plus, 90 FPS has been updated in that device, no issues. Right now you'll be able to see 90 FPS how I was able to get. This MI20, definitely 90 FPS, it's made 93, I'm getting, not bad. As you can see, it's 91 is made in pretty good, right? So definitely very good, impressive score. So till now, as you can see, we have Snapdragon 855 Plus and 865 Plus, and even the Realme X1 Max with the 1200 Dimensity, it kind of supported, and Snapdragon 870 when it comes to the processor. I think right now I have the two smartphones, which is a Realme GT Neo 2 Snapdragon 870, and even the iQOO 7 also with the Snapdragon 870. These two smartphones, they don't support those 90 FPS by default. That's kind of another disadvantage, and I'm not sure about the other processors, but I do have the three phones with the Snapdragon 870, iQOO 7, Realme GT Neo 2, Mi 11X device. They don't support 90 FPS, but Vivo X60, someone said, I think some of the users, I did mention that the phone did receive the 90 FPS, but I cannot confirm that because I don't have the device at this moment with me. So Vivo X60, but I'm not sure. Let me know in the comment section preference in case if you have that kind of information that phone supports, let me know. But right now I don't have that phone. Next is a Snapdragon 888 processor, which I do have right now, which is Realme GT. Realme GT, as you can see, Snapdragon 888 processor, high-end processor, which I do have right now. So which is kind of supported with the 90 FPS, friends. Fantastic, no issues. As you can see, 90 FPS working perfectly fine. So with this kind of Snapdragon 888 processor, one thing is that the temperatures will slightly kind of increase if you try to play in this Snapdragon 888 processor usually. So that's something you should definitely understand in case you plan to buy it. And unfortunately, friends, the Snapdragon 870, these phones are really pretty much capable. iQOO 7, Realme GT Neo 2, Mi 11X device, but still they don't get any kind of 90 FPS update. That's kind of really sad to see what's going on. But Ultra HD you can still play. Ultra HD and Ultra you can actually play it without much kind of complaints. But overall, that's kind of quick experience in this one, friends. So that's it, friends. Thank you for watching this complete overall review and feedback. Which phones actually supports the 90 FPS and which phone processor doesn't supports the 90 FPS. So I thought of explaining to you clearly what's going on. So, and in this Realme GT, we do have the real-time FPS meter, which is really good to see this kind of floating FPS meter. So, which is pretty good, friends, the floating FPS, which I did like in this new Realme UI 3.0 version. As you can see, friends, which is fantastic. So these are the few processor, friends, which actually supports the 90 FPS Battlegrounds mobile game after the recent update, which I thought of just mentioning for you all. In case if you're planning to buy the smartphones, this list might be useful for you to categorize which phone actually supports and which phone doesn't support. That's it, friends. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates, and in case if you're having any other queries, let me know in the comment section below. This is a complete review about which phone supports 90 FPS by default in the Battlegrounds mobile game. So meanwhile, signing off, friends. Thank you for watching. Until then, stay tuned for more updates, and bye.